It's nice to see almost $250,000 coming from the federal government and the Department of Justice, even as some of our relationships with the federal authorities and federal judges are still a little bit, we wouldn't say heated, because I think we think this appeal to an academic issue, but I want to say that if we have almost $750,000 to talk about polite and safe policing, we need to also try and connect the dots and maybe come up with another $750,000 to talk about improving the police role related to deaths and suicide. When I was first, I think the last city council before I left for a month was, it came up that suicide is a leading cause of death in Portland. And although this particular study is limited to the issue of community policing, I think for the city council to best serve its citizens, when you're interfacing with the police and when we're talking about this, we always need to come back to that issue of, if the police are part of public safety, and public safety is about keeping citizens alive and healthy, we need to look at where the dollars and where police and other civic spending will do the most good. And so I hope that, I'm very pleased to see, I'll still call him Lieutenant Marshman for a while probably, but seeing him moving up and taking this overall comprehensive approach where it's not just about quality of policing, but that the real purpose of the police is just to be a tool in making this a city where everybody, regardless of race or economic status, feels like a safe and valued participant in our great Portland society. So, especially with you, Mr. Mayor, since you have the closest oversight role for the police, I hope that in your ongoing conversations and when you talk informally with people at Portland State, that you'll always keep in mind that even though we're getting this nice $700,000 for a very specific and what seems to be a well-designed and well-intentioned study, that if we're putting $700,000 into a nice face on the police, and we haven't found an equivalent or greater amount of money to talk about how the police are going to be helpful partners with Cascadia and others to keep our citizens alive, then we really miss this. I do want to make a brief comment about hotspot policing. I don't know what the official policy is. My closest connection with past hotspot problems is when I'm over in the Lloyd and I walk past a place where there are bullet scars and brick walls from the place where Key Notice died. And also in the Lloyd, we had a veteran, a former United States military service person, who died via suicide from cop, basically. When you have a shotgun in a parking garage and the police come and shoot you, that's not really the kind of outcomes we want to have in Portland for our veterans. And so I hope that some of those concerns will be part of the study. Thank you.
I appreciate that. I just want to second some of your comments. Each of us gets to see our bureaus, in their day-to-day operation. And because I'm police commissioner, I get these daily documents from the police bureau about what they're doing. As it happens, last night's report that included 7 significant incidents. Somebody that had 2 pounds of methamphetamine, high-speed pursuit of a murder suspect and interrupting a fight. So it was a busy night, but to really corroborate what you said, one of those was a suicidal woman taken in on a police hold. Another was a man waving a knife in Pioneer Place. And a third was a woman who attempted to commit suicide by jumping onto Highway 26. I mean, 3 of the 7 events last night were suicides or attempted suicides. Fortunately, they were just attempted. But we lost 114 citizens to suicide last calendar year, which was many times the number of murders or even traffic deaths combined. So it's a significant issue, and it's because the police end up being the first responder to a lot of mental health situations that we're calling on our officers to help assist people at that really critical moment. So it's a key issue, and hotspot policing is really dealing with another set of crimes or another set of problems But you're right, with one hand, we've got to be addressing that thoughtfully, and on the other hand, we've got to do a lot better job on the mental health side.
Thank you for putting that on the record, Mayor, and I look forward to coming back with Sarah Hobbs and working with other citizens to get better networks so that we have a broad community base of support to get these issues under handled.
Yeah, good, thank you.